On this day, Rodney and I had decided to set our alarm clocks to 5 a.m. because we thought we wanted to take photographs of the elk first thing in the morning. And when the alarm clocks went off at 5 a.m., we both decided that this was a horrible idea and we would go back to bed. The elk would still be there at some other time. A few hours later, I decided to wake up and put on a pot of horrible-tasting coffee from the hotel. While I was begrudgingly consuming my coffee and enjoying the sunrise, I was able to catch this picture from the porch of the cabin, and is one of the only times that there was absolutely no traffic going past the cabin. We waited for the sun to get up high enough so we could take appropriate pictures at high noon, because we know that's always the best time of day to take photographs. We began to proceed north up towards Harrison, Arkansas, and we saw this old sign. This is the entrance to Dog Patch, which was a camping resort north of Jasper, Arkansas, and also previously occupied by neo-Nazi squatters, from what I've been told. Staying true to my form, I decided I would take a picture of Rodney taking a picture, because that is interesting. Further up the road, we were greeted to a vintage sign, which I decided to stop and take some pictures of. This is Daisy Queen, which would be the Ozark equivalent of Dairy Queen. I like the sign, and I also like the frontage of the building. I also took a picture of this dumpster, not because it was interesting, but because of the name. We concluded that this receptacle was for used meth paraphernalia. When we got to Harrison, we got out of the truck and began to walk around the square of downtown. At this time, Rodney was truly out of his element because there were no birds or animals to take pictures of and nothing but buildings. We did capture this mural on this wall, which we thought was fantastic and well painted. And then I captured this picture of Rodney being confused of what to take a picture of next. And across the street, we found this mural as well, equally tastefully done. I took a picture of this theater marquee downtown because it was so perfectly illuminated by the midday sun. I was able to get ahead of Rodney a little bit, and then I found this composition of the cafe. I also heard David in the back of my head, if you want to make an interesting picture, put a person in it. So I took this opportunity to take a picture with a person in it, and also get yet another picture of Rodney that he did not want. I also included this picture of the Dollar General store, which is not very interesting because there are no people in it. It is also slightly out of focus, but I don't care. This is not a good street photo. As we circled around the square, we met this young lady named Lakota, and she was telling us where we should go take a look at some waterfalls. But from our previous day's experience of seeing lovely Twin Falls, we decided that waterfalls were no longer on the docket for this trip. But I did capture this street portrait of this young lady. As we were working our way back to the truck after our long 15-minute photo walk of downtown Harrison, Arkansas, we came upon this sign, 75% off, entire store except items for cash only. Then we got to the front door and noticed the signage on the front door said cash only. The card machines are down. Sorry for any inconvenience. So we only could speculate that 75% off was not valid any longer. After leaving the bustling metropolis of Harrison, we decided to work our way down to Ponca, where the elk were at. In between Harrison and Ponca, we came onto the scenic view, where I decided I would tempt fate and try to take a selfie. Unfortunately, I was unable to throw caution into the wind because any dangerous activities were impeded by this guardrail behind me. I have obviously survived this selfie as well now. Proceeded our journey to Ponca and stopped off at a store where I purchased a overpriced shirt and Rodney threw some Snickers at some elderly men driving Goldwings. And then we proceeded to look for elk in the midday sun because we know elk always love being out in the sun. As we were driving past the wooded area, I noticed something out of the corner of my eye, so I stopped and took this picture of what I thought was an elk. It was not an elk. It is a slightly out of focus tree stump. Since no elk were to be found, we decided to migrate down to the boat launch in Ponca, where I was greeted by this lady who asked me to tie this rope to this magnet, which she got for Christmas. She was going to do some magnet fishing for the first time. I thought I would document the process. Her endeavors were successful as she acquired a slightly rusty knife from the waters. She also did find a piece of rusty barbed wire, but it was not attached to a fence post, so I did not find it interesting enough to take a picture of. This photo is a bad landscape photo with my Google Pixel. not leveled or anything. The Buffalo River at this point was actually so low you could walk across it. In this picture, Rodney has gotten wise to my tactics. He is now taking a picture of me, taking a picture of him, because that is interesting. We decided to move down to another location where we could possibly take more uninteresting photos. And there was a large cliff face, so I decided I would attempt to teach Rodney how to take a pano. We're going to try this. I'm trying to teach how to do a panorama. High noon. We'll see how it works. Okay, that didn't work out very well. We did go back down the road to where the elk are usually sighted, and we found elk. I don't understand why he would not pose for us. In this picture, we can see our buck here with his harem of does. Rodney was speculating that he has now become the herd master. And because Rodney was enthralled in taking pictures of elk, I decided to take this opportunity to take a picture of Rodney taking a picture, because this is interesting. I relocated the truck further down the road and decided I would take my chances at another spot. And I was presented with some amazing bird opportunities. Since I had the 500 PF in the Z8, I thought I would take a stab at taking some epic bird photography. And in this photo, we can see a crow in flight. Very good capture, isn't it? And this photo would be a tufted green-throated hawk. I think this is the most excellent picture of this bird on the perch. In my greatest bird in flight photo yet here, I present the South American condor. Since we were out from all this epic wildlife photography, we decided that our cholesterol levels were too low. We would once return to the Ozark Cafe in Jasper and get dinner. This is a picture of Rodney enjoying his dinner, which was just an entire plate of butterscotch pudding. Myself, I ordered the fried chicken, and everything had gravy on it. I was kind of disappointed that the green beans did not have gravy, nor did the gravy have gravy.